Spain, officially the Kingdom of Spain, is a sovereign state largely located on the Iberian Peninsula in southwestern Europe, with a small section of its territory located on the African continent. Its mainland is bordered to the south and east by the Mediterranean Sea except for a small land boundary with Gibraltar, to the north and northeast, by France, Andorra, and the Bay of Biscay, and to the west and northwest by Portugal and the Atlantic Ocean. Along with France and Morocco, it is one of only 3 countries to have both Atlantic and Mediterranean coastlines, extending to 1,214 kilometers. The Portugal-Spain border is the longest uninterrupted border within the European Union. Spanish territory also includes 2 archipelagos, the Balearic Islands, in the Mediterranean Sea, and the Canary Islands, in the Atlantic Ocean off the African coast, 2 major exclaves, Ceuta and Melilla, in continental North Africa, and the islands and penwans of Alboran, Alusmas, Chafarinas and Vélez de la Gomera. By population, Spain is the 6th largest in Europe and the 5th in the European Union. Modern humans first arrived in the Iberian Peninsula around 35,000 years ago. Iberian cultures along with ancient Phoenician, Greek and Carthaginian settlements developed on the peninsula until it came under Roman rule around 200 BCE, after which the region was named Hispania. In the Middle Ages, the area was conquered by Germanic tribes and later by the Moors. Spain emerged as a unified country in the 15th century, following the marriage of the Catholic monarchs and the completion of the centuries-long reconquest, or reconquista, of the peninsula from the Moors in 1492. In the early modern period, Spain became one of history's first global colonial empires, leaving a vast cultural and linguistic legacy that includes over 500 million Spanish speakers, making Spanish the world's 2nd most spoken first language. Spain is a democracy organized in the form of a parliamentary government under a constitutional monarchy. It is a middle power and a developed country with the world's 14th largest economy by nominal GDP and 16th largest by purchasing power parity. It is a member of the United Nations, the European Union, the Council of Europe, the Organization of Ibero-American States, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the World Trade Organization and many other international organizations. Etymology. The origins of the Roman name Hispania, from which the modern name España was derived, are uncertain due to inadequate evidence. Down the centuries there have been a number of accounts and hypotheses. The Renaissance scholar Antonio de Nebria proposed that the word Hispania evolved from the Iberian word Hispalis, meaning city of the Western world. Jesus Luis Conchillos argues that the root of the term span is the Phoenician word spar, meaning to forge metals. Therefore, Ispania would mean the land where metals are forged. It may be a derivation of the Phoenician Ishania, meaning island of rabbits, land of rabbits, or edge, a reference to Spain's location at the end of the Mediterranean. Roman coins struck in the region from the reign of Hadrian show a female figure with a rabbit at her feet, and Strabo called it the land of the rabbits. Hispania may derive from the poetic use of the term Hesperia, reflecting the Greek perception of Italy as a western land, or land of the setting sun, and Spain, being still further west, as Hesperia Ultima. There is the claim that Hispania derives from the Basque word pana, meaning edge or border. Another reference to the fact that the Iberian Peninsula constitutes the southwest corner of the European continent. 2 15th-century Spanish-Jewish scholars, Don Isaac Abrabanel and Solomon ibn Verga, gave an explanation now considered folkloric. Both men wrote in 2 different published works that the first Jews to reach Spain were brought by ship by Pharos, who was confederate with the king of Babylon when he laid siege to Jerusalem. This man was a Grecian by birth, but who had been given a kingdom in Spain. He became related by marriage to Esban, the nephew of King Heracles, who also ruled over a kingdom in Spain. Heracles later renounced his throne in preference for his native Greece, leaving his kingdom to his nephew, Esban, from whom the country of Espania took its name. Based upon their testimonies, this eponym would have already been in use in Spain by c. 350 BCE.